Thank God. And I usually don't even have the phone near me because you know how the Bluetooth and everything like picks up everything that messes up with my mics and whatnot. Thank God I happen to have it in my pocket because I forgot to push the button so that you could hear me. So that whole intro was, I can't repeat it. I know you guys can I don't know if you could hear anything at all, or at least, I don't know, maybe you can read lips. I'm sorry, guys. That's the beauty, I guess. The beauty and the downfall of going live and not having a real production studio. And that's the other reason, another reminder of why I need your support so I can hire people. Imagine that your support helps small content creators, small businesses, survive and thrive because of you, and to hire people. So you're giving people, you're helping me and other creators hire people and create employment and opportunities. See, that's what really jives with me. So how about the fact that if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Subscribe and smash that like button if you're just happy to see me at the very least. But I've been stuck at like 8,000 or so subscribers for way too long. Usually I grow, maybe a little stump, and then I grow a little bit. I mean, what the? Come on. I've been doing this for almost 2 years now. Help me get to 8,000. Share this content. Sharing is caring, to say the least. And here's the captain coming at you live. Well, for those who don't know, before we get the party started, let's start with the intro. Hi, I'm Olga S. Pérez, coming at you live, unleashing the power of perspective, one reaction at a time. I've been a life strategist for over 20 years, and I'm here to share my insights on trending topics, current news, and music videos that we all want to talk about with love and humor. So, who have I got already in the chat? Let's say hello. Hey, yay, Rocco. Yay back at you, my man. Great to see you. Hope you're having a wonderful day. So, yeah. So I went through some of the news that I'm going to cover. I want to really get into the Harrison Butker's commencement speech. Who's seen it? Let me know. And Buzzacino. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know. The rational text and no audio. My love. Maybe I need to start going straight to the chat right when I start my live. Maybe that's my new lesson. For now on, I just go straight to the chat. Mike Jr., welcome. All right. I am live on Twitter, on Rumble. Help me get some more subscribers and views on Rumble, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm telling you, it's the weirdest thing. Either people subscribe on Rumble and then they realize after one video, oh, I'm really not into her stuff, because maybe they come for the news and others come for the reaction. And I keep going from 433, 434 for ever. We're talking a year now. Are you kidding me? At first, I couldn't even get 20 subscribers for a whole year. And then finally kicked up, and it kind of little bit. And then it's been at 433 for months. And I've had 434 many times, and it goes back to 433. Okay, I guess I can't make everybody happy, but come on. Rumble, can you hear me, man? X. Don't we want X to be another platform, right? That we won't get as censored? So follow me on Twitter. All the links in the description below, including the link to become a member on YouTube, on Locals, especially if you want real, unfiltered. That's where we are family over there on Locals. So join me on Locals. Great to see you. Great to see you back. All of you on Rumble, Buzzacino, the Rational Texan. Love you. Much love. All right. Hope you got your popcorn or whatever it is that you need. Let me start screen sharing. Screen share. Let's see. You guys can see that? I know for the reaction videos, you want more of this view, which I will get to. But I think for this part, we're going to do it, I think this way, huh? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think, my peeps? But now there's no audio problem, right? Let's see. Okay. Going a little casual. But don't underestimate the captain over here, okay? This is the captain of the ship. And there's a certain way to get your reaction request. And like I said, I will share it. I will post it in the community post. But it's already posted on Locals about how to go about it and how exactly do I do it. Know that your super chats, your donations, your coffees, it all supports. It literally helps me take time out of my schedule, block it out so I can be here. Because that's how it goes, you know? Can't fill up the gas tank without money. Or at least that's our form of exchange, right? Okay. All right. Thank you, the Rational Texan. All right. Looks good. Great. Appreciate you. I know you never steer me wrong, the Rational Texan. You're amazing and such a positive force. Hey, I like that, Buzzacino. Still looking groovy though. What's up? What do you guys think? Do you like the hat? Not like the hat? Or at least the hat look? I don't know if I've ever had a baseball cap on this show. I don't think so. It's the first. It's first. And the shout out to who got it from me, a friend of mine, Trisha. Shout out. Remember, I had an event on a ship. And the theme of that event that I did, the theme was leadership. And so because it was on a ship, she got me a couple hats. And I know you guys see me with the other, like, captain, like the ship looking one, right? The black and white one. I had a couple videos, I think, or at least one for sure, that I wore that hat. And I saw this hat today. I was like, you know what? Because today's finally, after like 5 gloomy, cloudy days, finally got sunshine yesterday. And then today, yeah, baby, today's going to 85. Yes, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. All right, guys, let's watch this. Because, like I said, I only saw snippets. This is the whole commencement speech. And I think, personally, like I said, I didn't see the whole thing. But the little bit I saw, I thought it was banging, to say the least. Let's see.
One of the things that has come up recently has been this conversation from the Kansas City Chiefs kicker. I don't know if you've heard this. His name is Harrison Butker, and he's a devout Catholic. He gave a commencement address and to the graduating class of Benedictine College. Listen to what he had to say.
I think it is you, the women, who have had the most diabolical lies told to you.
Oh, wait, this is not the whole one. No, see, this is 2 minutes. Okay. But anyway, that was a nice intro. Thank you. What was this? CNN? If you have cable and you're still paying for cable, stop. Cancel it. All right. Here's the full commencement speech that I found on Twitter.
Of the class of 2024, I would like to start off by congratulating all of you for successfully making it to this achievement today. I'm sure your high school graduation was not what you had imagined, and most likely, neither was your first couple years of college. By making it to this moment through all the adversity thrown your way from COVID, I hope you learned the important lessons that suffering in this life is only temporary. As a group, you witnessed firsthand how bad leaders who don't stay in their lane can have a negative impact on society. It is through this lens that I want to take stock of how we got to where we are and where we want to go, as citizens, and yes, as Catholics. One last thing before I begin.
You know, I'm Catholic. I'm not a practicing Catholic, but I was born and raised Catholic, to the point that my parents even locked me up in a convent when I was 10 years old, okay? And that's another story. And I have a lot of opinions about Catholicism, but because it's a Christian faith, and I believe in Christ, Like, I know Christ is real, okay? So, but as far as the church goes, like any institution, I never sign up for it because I'm not a follower. And most institutions are corrupt. I dare say all? Question mark. Okay.
I want to be sure to thank President Minnis and the board for their invitation to speak. When President Minnis first reached out a couple of months ago, I had originally said no. You see, last year I gave the commencement address at my alma mater, Georgia Tech, and I felt that one graduation speech was more than enough, especially for someone who isn't a professional speaker.
Oh, no, that's slower. Hold on. How do I get it to go
But
faster?
of course, President
guys.
Minnis used his gift of persuasion and spoke to the many challenges you all faced throughout the COVID fiasco and how you missed out on so many milestones the rest of us older people have taken for granted. While COVID might have played a large role throughout your formative years, it is not unique. Bad policies and poor leadership have negatively impacted major
Boom! Poor leadership. That was great already. Straight out the gate.
life issues, things like abortion, IVF, surrogacy, euthanasia, as well as a growing support for degenerate cultural values in media, all stem from the pervasiveness
Degenerate. Absolutely.
of disorder. Our own nation is led by a man who publicly and proudly proclaims his Catholic faith, but at the same time is delusional enough to make the sign of the cross during a pro-abortion rally. He has been so vocal in his support for the murder of innocent babies that I'm sure to many people, it appears that you can be both Catholic and pro-choice. He is not alone. From the man behind the COVID lockdowns to the people pushing dangerous gender
Now, you know this is going to mess up my channel because the fact that he just said the crotch 19, you know what I'm saying? Oh, Lord, here we go.
ideologies onto the youth of America, they all have a glaring thing in common. They are Catholic. This is an important reminder that being Catholic alone doesn't cut it. These are the sorts of things we are told in polite society to not bring up. You know, the difficult and unpleasant things. But if we are going to be men and women for this time in history, we need to stop pretending that the Church of Nice is a winning proposition.
The Church of Nice. That's right.
We must always speak
Not a winning proposition. Okay.
and act in charity, but never mistake charity for cowardice.
Never mistake charity for cowardice. I mean, this is really well written, guys. Okay, I still see no problem with this. What is the backlash? I think it has most to do like that part from the clips that I've watched about women and men, women, that kind of thing. The trad wife kind of a thing. Okay, we're going to get there.
It is safe to say that over the past few years, I've gained quite the reputation for speaking my mind. I never envisioned myself nor wanted to have this sort of a platform, but God has given it to me, so I have no other choice but to embrace it and preach more hard truths about accepting your lane and staying in it. As members of the church founded by Jesus Christ, it is our duty and ultimately privilege to be authentically and unapologetically Catholic. Don't be mistaken, even within the church, people in polite Catholic circles will try to persuade you to remain silent. There even was an award-winning film called Silence, made by a fellow Catholic, wherein one of the main characters, a Jesuit priest, abandoned the church and as an apostate, when he died, is seen grasping a crucifix, quiet and unknown to anyone but God. As a friend of Benedictine College, His Excellency Bishop Robert Barron said in his review of the film, it was exactly what the cultural elite want to see in Christianity: private, hidden away, and harmless. Our Catholic faith has always been countercultural. Our Lord, along with countless followers, were all put to death for their adherence to her teachings. The world around us says that we should keep our beliefs to ourselves whenever they go against the tyranny of diversity, equity, and inclusion. We fear speaking truth because now, unfortunately, truth is in the minority. Congress just passed a bill where stating something as basic as the biblical teaching of who killed Jesus could land you in jail.
That is true, and that is telling, and they're coming after the Christians. It's happening. It's in prophecy. I can tell you, my intuition will tell you that. And the laws that they're passing are proving it. They're confirming it. This is not fear-mongering. It's be prepared to stand in your faith, to stand in what you know is true. And there's no science, which, hello, we're going to get after this. We'll get into the Fauci.
But make
The science. Okay.
no mistake, before we even attempt to fix any of the issues plaguing society, we must first get our own house in order, and it starts with our leaders. The bishops and priests
That's
appointed by
right.
God as our spiritual fathers must be rightly ordered. There's not enough time today for me to list all the stories of priests and bishops misleading their flocks, but none of us can blame ignorance anymore and just blindly proclaim that that's what Father said.
That's right.
Because sadly, many priests we are looking to for leadership are the same ones who prioritize their hobbies or even photos with their dogs and matching outfits
That's
for the
right.
parish directory.
That's right.
It's easy for us laymen and women to think that in order for us to be holy, that we must be active in our parish and try to fix it. Yes, we absolutely should be involved in supporting our parishes, but we cannot be the source for our parish priests to lean on to help with their problems. Just as we look at the relationship between a father and his son, so too should we look at the relationship between a priest and his people. It would not be appropriate for me to always be looking to my son for help when it is my job as his father to lead him. St. Jose Maria Escriva states that priests are ordained to serve and should not yield to temptation to imitate lay people,
That's
but to
right.
be priests through and through. Tragically, so many priests revolve much of their happiness from the adulation they receive from their parishioners. And
Because they're human, and there goes the ego. I know. Sometimes it's like marriage. You can get married and be, unfaithful. Although you made the vow and you made the promise. That happens. That's human nature. But we, the people, are what keeps them doing it. Same with the whole blackout 2024 and canceling all these other influencers, celebrities, because it's our attention that they need in order to feel and act the way they do.
for this, they let their guard down and become overly familiar. This undue familiarity will prove to be problematic every time because, as my teammate's girlfriend says, familiarity breeds contempt. St. Jose Maria continues that some want to see the priest as just another man. That is not so.
Is he talking about Taylor Swift? Ooh, Swifties.
They want to find in the priest those virtues proper to every Christian, and indeed every honorable man: understanding, justice, a life of work, priestly work in this instance, and good manners. It is not prudent as the laity for us to consume ourselves in becoming amateur theologians so that we can decipher this or that theological teaching, unless, of course, you are a theology major. We must be intentional with our focus on our state in life and our own vocation. And for most of us, that's as married men and women. Still, we have so many great resources at our fingertips that it doesn't take long to find traditional and timeless teachings that haven't been ambiguously reworded for our times. Plus, there are still many good and holy priests, and it's up to us to seek them out.
Right.
The chaos of the world is unfortunately reflected in the chaos in our parishes, and sadly, in our cathedrals too. As we saw during the pandemic, too many bishops were not leaders at all. They were motivated by fear of being sued, fear of being removed, fear of being disliked. They showed by their actions, intentional or unintentional, that the sacraments don't actually matter. Because
Exactly. And again, the fear. See what I'm saying? You gotta call people out. You're a coward? All of a sudden, like, you should be out. Like, I'm out with you. Like, I'm done with you. Like, you of all people, especially if you work and stand in the name of God, the Creator. Come on.
because of this, countless people died alone without access to the sacraments, and it's a tragedy we must never forget.
That's right.
As Catholics, we can look to so many examples of heroic shepherds who gave their lives for their people, and ultimately, the church. We cannot buy into the lie that the things we experienced during COVID were appropriate. Over the centuries, there have been great wars, great famines, and yes, even great diseases, all that came with a level of lethality and danger. But in each of those examples, church leaders leaned into their vocations and ensured that their people received the sacraments. Great saints like St. Damien of Malachi, who knew the dangers of his ministry, stayed for 11 years as a spiritual leader to the leper colonies of Hawaii. His heroism is looked at today as something set apart and unique, when ideally, it should not be unique at all. For as a father loves his child, so a shepherd should love his spiritual children too. That goes even more so for our bishops, these men who are present-day apostles. Our bishops once had adoring crowds of people kissing their rings and taking in their every word. But now,
Kissing their rings, even the fact that they do that, like everything the Vatican does, it's nothing to do with Christianity or God. It has everything to do with paganism, and it has everything to do with Lucifer, Satan, kissing the ring. Kiss my jewelry. Get on your knees. Worship me. Pure ego. The opposite of giving and being loving and caring. And that's what God is. Loving. Love.
now relegate themselves to a position of inconsequential existence. Now, when a bishop of a diocese or the bishops' conference as a whole puts out an important document on this matter or that, nobody even takes a moment to read it, let alone follow it. No. Today, our shepherds are far more concerned with keeping the doors open to the chancery than they are with saying the difficult stuff out loud. It seems that the only time you hear from your bishops is when it's time for the annual appeal, whereas we need our bishops to be vocal about the teachings of the church, setting aside their own personal comfort and embracing their cross. Our bishops are not politicians, but shepherds. So instead of fitting in the world by going along to get along, they too need to stay in their lane and lead. I say all of this not from a place of anger, as we get the leaders we deserve. But this does make me reflect on staying in my lane and focusing on my own vocation and how I can be a better father and husband and live in the world, but not be of it. Focusing on my vocation.
Sounds like a man. Sounds like the more men. We need more men like this. You know, I always advocate for men. Now more than ever. And I'm still not finding flaws here. I'm not finding what the problem is.
While praying and fasting for these men will do more for the church than me complaining about her leaders. Because there seems to be so much confusion coming from our leaders, there needs to be concrete examples for people to look to, and places like Benedictine, a little Kansas college built high on a bluff above the Missouri River, are showing the world how an ordered, Christ-centered existence is the recipe for success. You need to look no further than the examples all around this campus, where over the past 20 years, enrollment has doubled. Construction and revitalization are a constant part of life, and people, the students, the faculty, and staff are thriving. This didn't happen by chance. In a deliberate movement to embrace traditional Catholic values, Benedictine has gone from just another liberal arts school with nothing to set it apart to a thriving beacon of light and a reminder to
I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know these facts that he's spitting, so I can't comment on it.
All that when you embrace tradition, success, worldly and spiritual, will follow. I'm certain the reporters at the AP could not have imagined that their attempt to rebuke and embarrass places and people like those here at Benedictine wouldn't be met with anger, but instead met with excitement and pride. Not the deadly sin sort of pride that has an entire month dedicated to it, but the true God-centered pride that is cooperating with the Holy Ghost to glorify Him. Reading that article.
By the way, this guy, if this is gonna hurt his career, because I don't know anything about him, I just found out because of the commencement speech and all the, everyone sharing it on Twitter and whatnot. I know that he's a Kansas City, right, football player. So he is an athlete and he's a player, plays sports. Now, with that being said, I don't think this guy cares about keeping his job. I said it.
Now shared all over the world, we see that in the complete surrender of self.
Which is good. And that's leadership right there. Let's see. I believe he's ultimately going to put his mouth where his money, or money where his mouth, however you say it. If it comes push to shove, like push comes to shove where he has to quit or they fire him, he won't care.
It's turning towards Christ, you will find happiness. Right here in a little town in Kansas, we find many inspiring lay people using their talents. President Minnis, Dr. Swafford, and Dr. Zimmerer are a few great examples right here on this very campus that will keep the light of Christ burning bright for generations to come. Being locked in with your vocation and staying in your lane is going to be the surest way for you to find true happiness and peace in this life. It is essential that we focus on our own state in life, whether that be as a layperson, a priest, or religious. Ladies and gentlemen of the class of 2024, you are sitting at the edge of the rest of your lives. Each of you has the potential to leave a legacy that transcends yourselves and this era of human existence.
Exactly. You can leave a legacy. You have the potential. What are you going to do? Stop following what's politically correct. It's always a phase. It's always a fad. Like, it goes. But you got to live with yourself. The soul is permanent. It's the only thing that's eternal. Energy doesn't die.
In the small ways, by living out your vocation, you will ensure that God's church continues and the world is enlightened by your example. For the ladies present today, congratulations on an amazing accomplishment. You should be proud of all that you have achieved to this point in your young lives. I want to speak directly to you briefly because
that's very nice and very encouraging, but let's see, okay, because apparently this is like the major part of people flipping on. I'm a woman. Let's see what I have to say.
Is you, the women, who have had the most diabolical lies told to you. How many
That's true.
of you are sitting here now, about to cross the stage, and are thinking about all the promotions and titles you are going to get in your career? Some of you may go on to lead successful careers in the world, but I would venture to guess that the majority of you are most excited about your marriage and the children you will bring into this world. I can tell you that
that's true. It doesn't even matter how much they try to brainwash women for the last 20 years, 30, 40 years. That is a fact. I've been helping women for 3 decades. And I'm telling you, all ages. And at the end of the day, I mean, you put love in front of a woman, a man, a good man. That is where the truth is. That's their core. And any woman that says differently, typically, even older women, are burned out because they've had, pathetic so-called men. And then they get into this whole, I don't want a man, I'm fine alone. That's very different because they've had a bad experience. Not just one, several, which just compounds their feeling of, screw men and like they're just all bad, but just because they had bad experiences. Or maybe not only that, let's take into account that they're choosing these partners. Can't blame all men. And I'm here to tell you that they're not happier because of it. Even when they're saying, I'm better off, at least I don't have a headache. Nope, they're not. I've never seen one that's actually happier. I'm telling you, as a coach, as a consultant, never. So the lie is bigger than this guy just said it quickly, okay? It's a lot bigger than just saying the lies you've been told. It's much bigger than just saying it's a lie you've been told. It's much bigger. And men, the good men, need to be getting more attention so that women can want it. Because when women see nothing but shit, then they feel like there's nothing to desire because what's out there is shit, right? So for me, what he's saying, oh man, I'm going to have to clip this later on. And I'm like,
My beautiful wife, Isabel, would be the first to say that her life truly started when she began living her vocation as a wife and as a mother. I'm on this stage today and able to be the man I am because I have a wife who leans into her.
But hold on, am I just hearing rumors? But I did hear that, didn't he separate from his wife or something? Can you guys let me know in the chat?
I'm beyond blessed with the many talents God has given me, but it cannot be overstated that all of my success is made possible because a girl I met in band class back in middle school would convert to the faith, become my wife, and embrace one of the most important titles of all, homemaker.
That's right. It's an art. So important. When people wonder why nobody comes to see them, especially women, whether they're married, especially if they're married, actually, let me speak specifically married or could be living with someone, married or living with someone. And they're like, my family never comes to see me, or like, I don't have anybody ever to come see us and the kids. And literally, it really is a reflection sometimes, not in every single case, but in many times, it's how they are a host, how they are, the way that they're homemakers and the love that they emanate throughout their daily task is what makes people want to come all the time. And that's the woman that can do that. That's why I said a minute ago, it's an art. It's to put it in like a nutshell. A labor of love is another way of saying it, I think. Now, this guy's got adrenaline going through his body, man. That's courage. See, so he might have the speech, but it doesn't mean he's not bringing forth courage. It's taking him courage to do this. I don't see ego in this guy. I'm sure he's got some ego. He's a young male, of course, but no. Not a blinding ego.
She's a primary educator to our children. She's the one who ensures I never let football or my business become a distraction from that of a husband and father. She's a person that knows me best at my core, and it is through our marriage that, Lord willing, we will both attain salvation. I say all of this to you because I have seen it firsthand, how much happier someone can be when they disregard the outside noise and move closer and closer to God's will in their life. Isabel's dream of having a career might not have come true, but if you ask her today if she has any regrets on her decision, she would laugh out loud without hesitation and say, heck no. As a man who gets a lot of praise and has been given a platform to speak to
audience. This is great for encouragement for other men that are on the fence or convinced on the also other lie that, you don't want this kind of woman. You want a woman to go work and you'll be happy and your marriage will be better for it. This is very important for men believing that lie. Here's to you, men. Hear me out. I'm a woman. I'm telling you.
Audiences like this one today. I pray that I always use my voice for God and not for myself. Everything I am saying to you is not from a place of wisdom, but rather a place of experience. I am hopeful that these words will be seen as those from a man, not much older than you, who feels it is imperative that this class, this generation, and this time in our society must stop pretending that the things we see around us are normal. Heterodox ideas abound even within Catholic circles, for let's be honest, there is nothing good about playing God with having children, whether that be your ideal number or the perfect time to conceive. No matter how you spin it, there is nothing natural about Catholic birth control. It is only in the past few years that I have grown courage to speak more boldly and directly, because as I mentioned earlier, I have leaned into my vocation as a husband and father, and as a man. To the gentleman here today, part of what plagues our society is this lie that has been told to you that men are not necessary in the home or in our communities. As men, we set the tone of the culture, and when that is absent, disorder, dysfunction, and chaos set in. This absence of men in the home is what plays a large role in the violence we see all around the nation. Other countries do not have nearly the same absentee father rates as we find here in the U.S.
True.
And the correlation can be made in their
truth.
drastically lower violence rates
Wake up, people.
as well. Be unapologetic in your masculinity.
That's right.
Fighting against the cultural emasculation of men. Do hard things. Never settle for what is easy. You might have a talent that you don't necessarily enjoy,
Good advice.
but if it glorifies God, maybe you should lean into that over something that you might think suits you better.
Glorify, yes, lean into it. Glorify God. Yes, 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 yes.
I speak from experience as an introvert who now finds myself as an amateur public speaker and an entrepreneur, something I never thought I'd be when I received my industrial engineering degree. The road ahead is bright. Things are changing. Society is shifting.
My father was an engineer. My best partners are engineers. There's something about these engineers. You think they don't have emotion, but so they do.
And people, young and old, are embracing tradition. Not only has it been my vocation that has helped me and those closest to me, but not surprising to many of you, should be my outspoken embrace of the traditional Latin Mass. I've been very vocal in my love and devotion to the TLM and its necessity for our lives. But what I think gets misunderstood is that people who attend the TLM do so out of pride or preference. I can speak to my own experience, but for most people I have come across within these communities, this simply is not true. I do not attend the TLM because I think I am better than others, or for the smells and bells, or even for the love of Latin. I attend the TLM because I believe, just as the God of the Old Testament was pretty particular in how he wanted to be worshiped, the same holds true for us today. It is through the TLM that I encountered order.
That's right. Nothing should change. Nothing should change that.
And began to pursue it in my own life. Aside from the TLM itself, too many of our sacred traditions have been relegated to things of the past, when in my parish, things such as Ember Days, days when we fast and pray for vocations and for our priests, are still adhered to. The TLM is so essential that I would challenge each of you to pick a place to move where it is readily available. A lot of people have complaints about the parish or the community, but we should not sacrifice the Mass for community. I prioritize the TLM even if the parish isn't beautiful, the priest isn't great, or the community isn't amazing. I still go to the TLM because I believe the holy sacrifice of the Mass is more important than anything else. I say this knowing full well that when each of you rekindle your knowledge,
It cannot hurt people. It cannot hurt you to go. It cannot. You will not. I mean, unless the priest is like, you know what I'm talking about? A wolf in sheep's clothing, and then you got to stay away. Like, of course you don't want to be around anybody that, follow your intuition. But yeah, I see where he's going though.
and adherence to many of the church's greatest traditions, you will see how much more colorful and alive your life can and should be. As you move on from this place and enter into the world, know that you will face many challenges. Sadly, I'm sure many of you know of the countless stories of good and active members of this community who, after graduation and moving away from the Benedictine bubble, have ended up moving in with their boyfriend or girlfriend prior to marriage. Some even leave the church and abandon God. It is always heartbreaking to hear these stories, and there's a desire to know what happened and what went wrong. What you must remember is that life is about doing the small things well, setting yourself up for success, and surrounding yourself with people
Very sound words here.
who continually push you to be the best version of you.
Exactly. That's the point. And anybody who loves you, that's what they would do. And if you love somebody, that's what you would do. That's true love.
I say this all the time, that iron sharpens iron. It's a great reminder that those closest to us should be making us better. If you are dating someone who doesn't even share your
right.
faith, how do you expect that person to help you become a saint?
That's right.
If your friend group is filled with people who only think about what you're doing next weekend and are not willing to have those difficult conversations, how can they help sharpen you?
Absolutely.
As you prepare to enter into the workforce, it is extremely important that you actually think
I
about
wonder if he wrote this by himself or did he have any help or anybody to edit it? Anybody know? Let me know.
the places you are moving to. Who is the bishop? What kind of parishes are there? Do they offer the TLM and have priests who embrace their priestly vocation? Cost of living must not be the only arbiter of your choices. For a life without God is not a life at all, and the cost of salvation is worth more than.
That's so true. Like I've went through the whole cycle. Quantum physics, like looking for answers everywhere, blending science with any kind of, with all religions that I delved into to get the answer, like the truth, knowing that the truth will set you free, right? And it always comes back to God. And it like, that's where the love and peace and happiness is right there. I'm not the only one who's done this.
Any career.
All roads take you back to God, the creator, Christ, the love, and being humble. Letting go, letting God. Oh, God, you know I can go on.
I'm excited for the future, and I pray that something I have said will resonate as you move on to the next chapter of your life. Never be afraid to profess the one holy, Catholic, and apostolic church, for this is the church that Jesus Christ established, through which we receive sanctifying grace. I know that my message today had a little less fluff than is expected for these speeches, but I believe that this audience and this venue is the best place to speak openly and honestly about who we are and where we all want to go, which is heaven. I thank God for Benedictine College and for the example it provides to the world. I thank God for men like President Minnis who are doing their part for the kingdom. Come to find out, you can have an authentically Catholic college and a thriving football program.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Make no mistake, you are entering into mission territory in a post-God world, but you were made for this, and with God by your side and a constant striving for virtue within your vocation, you too can be a saint. Christ is King to the heights.
Whoa, Christ is King. Oh, apparently that's like, holy water on vampires on today's bullshit social constructed social media settings. Well, hold on, because now comes, okay, what's the backlash? So here we go. That's part of that, the whole backlash over NFL player Harrison Butker's commencement speech has reached a new level. Okay. You guys can read the article for yourself, but I'm scrolling. I'm like, okay, whatever. So Harrison Butker gave a speech in his personal capacity. His views are not those. That's the part that caught my eyeball, right? Because it's like, here we go. If you guys in support of NFL, you need to drop them. Like, because without you, without the audience, without the viewers, without the fans, they have nothing. I know. Don't be disappointed. It's what's necessary for change, because you don't want these fucking organizations. Look at this. His views are not those of the NFL as an organization. I mean, I get it. Oh, yeah, that's like the corporate thing to say. Okay. Said Senior Vice President Jonathan Bean. I hope I'm saying it right. The league's Chief Diversity and Inclusion Officer. Of course! The Chief Diversity and Inclusion Officer. I'm telling you, it's like we're a bunch of kids. I'm not kidding you. And every time we give people titles, the fact that we have to believe it, like the dollar, like you got to believe it in order to buy into it. It's all based on our belief system. If we never treated anybody with a title, right, with these labels that make them like the authorities or top or above us, nobody cares what the homeless guy says on the corner. But they care about this guy, the Chief Diversity Inclusion Officer. You're a joke. They're all a joke. Because when you know the truth, this is all constructed. It's all a joke. The only thing that's real, I know, it's your creator, honey. Embrace it. You'll see how magical it is, to say the least. The NFL is steadfast in our commitment to inclusion, which only makes our league stronger. It makes Satan stronger. Yeah, the fake, the ego. Yeah, it makes your delusion stronger. That's what it does, and you know it. Okay, GLAAD, G-L-A-A-D, also issued a statement calling Butker's speech a clear miss. A clear miss. Oh, because you can't rule the soul. The soul has spoken. It's not a robot. That's what you're mad about. Oh, you didn't do what I told you to do. And woefully out of step with Americans about pride. Pride, one of the great sins, right? But look at this, LGBTQ people and women. Because only somebody who's a shill of a human would ever make such a statement. Doesn't matter. You know, I'm all for anybody. I love everybody. No judgment here. But to put this like a shield, it's like literally the new church is the LGBTQ for everyone now. And then they got to shove it. So I didn't like religion shoved down my throat at all. And now you got to shove this ideology down my throat. You're just shoving shit down my throat. That's what you're doing. You're forcing me. You don't like it, you're going to eat it. Okay. Well, I can shut my mouth. Meaning I can choose to starve to death. Let's see who lives longer. Because without me obeying you, you got nothing. Okay, here we go. The Chiefs, defending Super Bowl champions and one of the NFL's marquee teams, have not responded to requests for comment. Okay. So is that the backlash? No, I think the woman thing. I know I heard a lot about that. What Butker said about women and Taylor Swift. I just guessed the whole Taylor Swift comment I made. In front of the crowd of about 485 male and female graduates, Butker suggested that a woman's accomplishments in the home are more valuable than any academic or professional goals. That's a fact. That's not even an opinion. So he stated a fact. Ooh, it hurts you. It's like, literally, it's the same as finding out that your partner is not being faithful and you just don't want to believe it. And it burns you. And you'll go be like an attack dog to defend your lie. That's all this is. This is not about me agreeing with this. That's all that comment is. There is no facts to back that up, to back their shit. I want to speak directly to you briefly because I think it is you, as we just heard him say in the video I just played, the women who have had the most diabolical lies told to you, he said. Yes, he did. And any real woman would back that up. Even in women in the LGBTQ. Because I know lesbians, that have a lot of problems trying to have a real functional, healthy, successful, happy relationship. Because relationships in general are hard. Whether it's a working relationship, whether it's a lover relationship, whether it's a spouse, a family member. Relationships are hard. Communication, that's one of the things we develop, that we grow to learn how to be better at that. Because we don't want to hurt the people that we love and we want to keep them around, for example, right? Or a job that we love and we want to not, piss the boss off, or vice versa. You could be the boss and have an employee that's awesome and, you don't want to fight. You learn how to communicate, how to deal, how to find each other's likes and what you have in common. Hold each other up. I mean, we can go on and on. I'm not trying to lecture you guys here. Okay, so how many of you are sitting here now about to cross this stage and are thinking about the promotion side? Okay, you're right. We just heard that. Okay, so what's the problem here? What's the problem? This wasn't a case of a foot in mouth. It was a well-prepared speech, wrote columnist Sam McDowell in the Kansas City Star. Women listening in the audience, rather than being rewarded with diploma or graduation day, were made to listen. They were forced. They were held down and shoved down. Food down their throat, right? Like the ducks or the geese, for their foie gras. Oh my God, dude. I mean, if they could just write on facts, I would totally be like, all right, that's your point. But see how words are so powerful. They were made to listen. They were made to listen. Really? Oh, like they were the ones that wanted to ignore what he was saying. They weren't into what he was saying. They couldn't be looking at their phone. Like you really think they didn't? Okay, say, all right. I had enough. I think the point has already been made, correct? It's like whoever you are on any side of the fence you think you're on, there was nothing that he said that would do you bad. Nope. Not at all. Number one, that's just basic. And here we see, when I typed up his name, here we see all this stuff that was coming up. Look at this, from 5 hours ago, 3 hours to 21 hours ago. Homemaker influencer defends Harrison. Well, that's good. I didn't read it, but here we go. Amid cheers for Harrison Butker and Scotty Scheffler, I think that's right. Old principles change. Benedictine College. This is the one that got me the most too. Benedictine College nuns denounce Harrison Butker's speech. The nuns. Remember, I was in a convent? They're all signed up to the dark side. They're all faking it. Their God is not the loving God. I'm telling you straight up. Ask me any questions you want. I will give you hundreds of examples, but I don't want to ruin your day. Let's not talk about how pathetic these people are. How they're all lying. How about we jump into the Julian Assange that was trending today? Here's his wife. And I think what she had to say was pretty good. Let me know, guys, how you think. What do you think about this Julian Assange situation? I stand behind him. He did nothing wrong. And we need real journalism. We need the truth. That's why they're attacking him. We all know this. We all know this. The debate's been over. It's been over 10 years. But I'm sharing this because the good news is that he's going, like this says here, breaking, Julian Assange wins right to challenge U.S. extradition and high court. That's a good day, and that's why I'm sharing this story today on this live stream.
The US and UK are happy to talk about political prisoners abroad, but they've created a political prisoner of their own. At every stage, the law has been abused in order to victimize Julian. He has been silenced, he has been disappeared. The last time Julian was allowed to attend his own court hearing was in January 2021. Every time he's requested to be there in person, those requests have been denied. Julian did nothing wrong. He exposed war crimes committed by known individuals. Those who committed the war crimes or responsible for those war crimes have not been held accountable. Julian is in prison because WikiLeaks is a publisher that specializes in the secrets that states keep the most hidden. Julian revealed war crimes by the US government, the world's superpower, in Iraq and Afghanistan, and the fact that it had normalized, institutionalized torture.
Remember these
and that
videos?
Superpower took revenge. The position of the UK right now is that it will extradite a publisher to the country that conspired to murder him. How can the UK government even contemplate the extradition of the man who the US was trying to assassinate? This assassination plot was as revenge for what WikiLeaks had published. The story has over 30 US intelligence officials, including very senior and named, going on record and saying that the US government was actively plotting to assassinate Julian inside the UK. This is incredible. This is a country plotting to assassinate a journalist because of what he has published. This is precisely what the UK government
He's one of us.
criticizes
We are
in other
him.
states. Conspiring to murder a journalist is wrong. It's wrong if Russia does it, and it's wrong if the United States does it too.
That's right.
But there's a lot of this story that we still don't know. How much did the UK government know? How far was the UK government willing to go along with the US government's plans under the CIA directorship of Mike Pompeo? These are questions that remain unanswered. The United States government is the only one that has committed crimes here. Julian has done nothing wrong. By prosecuting Julian for doing the right thing, they're also denying the existence and the validity of what he exposed. Because the United States is not a member of the International Criminal Court, the only accountability that exists is the exposure through WikiLeaks of the fact that these people were killed. So by prosecuting Julian, they're not just prosecuting Julian, they're putting the memory of all those people in prison too.
Light them all up. Hey, Roger. Keep shooting.
There's no question that the information that WikiLeaks published about the Iraq and Afghan wars and Guantanamo Bay was in the public interest. Julian is being prosecuted under the 1917 Espionage Act. That act was enacted during the First World War. US constitutional lawyers have long worried that the broad wording of the Espionage Act would be repurposed in order to go after the press. The Trump administration decided to prosecute Julian and WikiLeaks because the agenda of the Trump administration was to target the press. The US First Amendment is the gold standard globally on press freedom, and the prosecution against Julian is the single greatest attack there has been on the First Amendment, and that is Trump's legacy. My message to Joe Biden is that you are furthering the worst legacy of the Trump administration. Don't let this also be your legacy. Drop this case. If you don't drop this case will be used by future administrations in order to silence dissent, in order to silence the press. This is the most serious attack on press freedom there has ever been. The United States government is saying that any person, anywhere, is bound by the US Espionage Act.
Right? 1984.
This is a completely absurd and dangerous proposition. Julian is not a US citizen. He's an Australian citizen who was working as a journalist in the United Kingdom. He owes no allegiance to the US government. He received information from a source, Chelsea Manning, and he published it. That's all he did. And now the United States is threatening Julian with a life sentence, 175 years. It advances the absurd notion that a country can limit press freedom beyond its borders, that it can crack down on foreign journalists.
That's right. We're talking, oh man, this is make it or break it situation. We got to stand for this. Freedom. More than ever. Freedom. No more being comfortable. Freedom. No matter what the losses are, we will win. The majority is us.
Abroad. Imagine if Turkey now uses the same logic that the US has used to say that a British journalist in France should be extradited to Turkey because that journalist exposed some state-sponsored crime of Turkey's, or Saudi Arabia or China. Every journalist should be alarmed about this, because if they can do it to someone as high profile as Julian, then everyone else can suffer the same fate. The fact that people have such a poor understanding about this case is down to the media. It is the media's responsibility to properly report this case, and it has not been properly reported. And that's why the public is so ignorant about it. Now, why has the media reported so poorly about this case? Part of the reason is because Julian is a media critic. He's not just a publisher, but...
And what happens to him? Whether you're a journalist or not, what happened to all of us? It's already happening to regular people all the time.
He has been very critical of the way that the media has reported, for example, WikiLeaks publications. WikiLeaks also poses a challenge to the legacy media because the WikiLeaks model is what Julian calls scientific journalism, to publish original source documents alongside the analysis in order to allow the reader to draw their own conclusions, to access the same information that the journalist...
And they know we want the information. We all want to know, even if it's just gossip, like spill the tea, right? Like we all want to know, tell me. And everybody wants to know the truth. Everybody knows that. Who is the enemy? Anyone who would stop you from finding out the truth. Period.
In order to assess the material themselves. And that's why WikiLeaks is such an important resource for academics and historians, not just journalists. Because Julian's case is a political case, it's entirely up to the political circumstances what is possible and what is not possible. The case is so outrageous that it should be thrown out. It is also politically dangerous and counterproductive for the United Kingdom. By prosecuting Julian, they lose their ability to claim the moral high ground. The fact the UK is now calling out
to claim the moral high ground
war crimes in relation to the Ukraine, it follows that the UK should not extradite a publisher who put evidence of war crimes into the public domain. Since the 11th of April 2019, Julian has been inside Belmarsh High Security Prison, which is the harshest prison in the UK, known as Britain's Guantanamo Bay. He's been inside Belmarsh Prison day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, in a small prison cell on his own.
I mean, this is so evil. You know, I'm going to stop. It just gave me chills. I just can't handle it. You guys can watch the whole tape, you know, this clip right here that I found on Twitter. Oh, but you feel me? Because I'm so passionate about freedom. especially freedom of speech, but just freedom in any freaking form. We cannot exist as a creatures, as a species in any way without freedom. Look at just animals that are in a zoo versus animals that are in the wild, like are in the nature like they're supposed to be. It's never the same. Some of them don't make it. A lot of them don't make it. Get sick all the time. All kinds of problems. Can't get pregnant. Right? It's got to stop. And I'm telling you, I know you don't want to hear this, but that means if you have kids or if you go to the zoo, we need to stop supporting zoos. We can't be hypocrites. Freedom here, but not for the animals. We're all important in the ecosystem of health and happiness. We have to be free. Study after study shows how everyone's always healthier and happier. Animals, humans, all included, when we are free. Okay, all right. And I'm just speaking just as this is basic information. And then Fauci's trending, which I'm going, it better be good. Just like at least Julian Assange. Okay, some little good news there. Now Fauci, I'm like, okay, is there something good coming out of this? And I did hear that Trump apparently, what was it? Now I can't find the tab that I had open for Trump because that was a little bit of good news, right? He got, wait, what's the term? Acquittal? Wasn't it acquittal? Am I correct, guys? Correct me. But look at this. So Dr. McCullough, who hasn't already heard of this guy, right? Where they were totally banning him, blocking him all throughout the Crotch 19, all that BS. But I found this is pretty interesting little clip here and this what he's saying here. So Dr. McCullough issues urgent crunch jab, a warning to Donald Trump. Dr. Peter McCullough says that Donald Trump is missing out on the political opportunity of a lifetime. And I go, ooh, because whether you're a Trump supporter or not, I'm a supporter of no, my body, my choice. You see what I'm saying? For all, okay? For anything, period. And if he doesn't dump the crotch jab, okay, he suggests that Trump, so let's hear him out. Let's see what he has to say.
Well, amidst growing public demands for accountability for COVID injection harms, Dr. Peter McCullough has issued an urgent COVID vaccine warning to Donald Trump. World-renowned cardiologist Dr. Peter McCullough says that Donald Trump is missing out on the political opportunity of a lifetime if he doesn't soon reverse course on the disastrous COVID-19 injections. This declaration came during a riveting conversation on the Tommy T podcast. Dr. McCullough suggested that Trump doesn't necessarily have to admit that he was wrong. Instead, he could throw Fauci and Biden under the bus because Fauci is a deceiver who has his credibility in the tank, and all the safety problems in the vaccine occurred under Biden. Podcast host Tommy T added that Trump could save face.
Welcome, Melissa. Yes. Guys, you got to read her post. I just posted it. I just put it on the screen.
And send shockwaves through the
Pause
political
the video.
landscape with a bit of messaging that sounds like this. Take a listen.
I think the issue is the vaccine, honestly. This is what Trump could say.
Oh, here we go.
He could say,
the
listen,
bots are going to come get me now with the jabs.
I was lied to by Fauci. Fauci's credit right now is in the tank. He's got no credibility. He's just hiding. He's hiding. So he can say, listen,
well, let me add to it. He's not just hiding, Dr. McCullough. He's being protected. Okay? Like the Cuomo's trying to backpedal and act like, no, nobody could force you. No, we couldn't close the business down. How about that one gym from New Jersey? How many fines they got, how they were harassed, you name it. Oh, we couldn't have done it.
Lied to by
I mean, the level of fact that we are all grown adults and that they talk to us like we're completely brainless and stupid. Like, no. See what I'm saying? We got to call them out. The blackout 2024 shouldn't just be celebrities. Everybody's got to go.
Fauci, I was deceived. And
Where attention goes, energy flows. Remember that. Instead of talking about them, let's take away the attention and then freaking just bombard them with get out. And by the way, a shout out to all attorneys out there. Why aren't you guys suing these people? What's going on here? Even pro bono. If not for your fellow man, your fellow citizen, how about your children? Grow some cojones and use your law degree, and all of you together. There's how many lawyers? I was actually going to look it up before I did the live. Can anybody guess how many lawyers we have in this country that could not all be nailing these people? Speaking of Fauci and this, just one of them. Let's just start with Fauci. How about that? And we go down the line. You know, they will scatter, like turn the lights on, and the roaches will run.
He can leave it there. And then as the vaccine rolled out, remember, all the safety problems in the vaccine, that occurred under Biden. And he said, listen, the Biden administration didn't do anything good on safety. I now fully understand what's going on. And if I get in office, I'm going to make this right for America. All he has to do is say it. He doesn't have to admit he's wrong. Now, most of the politicians are so weak, they don't have the strength to admit them wrong.
I said, if he just comes out and he says, look, maybe I didn't mess up, just the vaccine we found out now, after further research, that's not admitting anything. We found out now after further research, it is no good, and that guy is trying to kill you and your kids. If he said that, whoa. And then all the Trump people would go do a little bit of research because Trump said it. And then maybe we get a real talking point about it.
Honestly, I think it's the political opportunity
of a lifetime.
And if
good point. I didn't expect that. That was a good point, Dr. McCullough.
It's a weakness that he can't admit he's wrong, then that weakness could cost him.
Well, there are additional benefits to such a move. And the article says such a move would give Trump another massive talking point against Biden, votes that would otherwise swing in the favor of Robert Kennedy Jr., an opportunity to be the hero that gave the vaccine.
We got the point, right? We got the point. I agree. Whether you like Trump or not. That's a good insight there, Dr. McCullough. And how about, you know, I'm into astrology and I know these things. I don't know how many times I've mentioned it in my live streams, but I'm not the only astrologer or even like clairvoyant psychics, whether you believe in them or not. But astrology, I'm telling you, it's a true science. There is facts there. Now, that the planetary, the movements, the degrees, everything where they're placed at the moment, and they have been, and they're constantly moving, that leaders of countries would be going, like passing on. And here, the Iranian president, I'm like, okay. I'm sorry, because it's even in prophecy, this kind of like, you can just see it. The writing is on the wall. And look at these articles. So obviously, I read somewhere, I don't know where I saw it, but that apparently, I think it was Alex Jones actually on X earlier, where apparently NASA, whoever, has blocked out the weather during that time where the helicopter crashed. Got CIA, got 3-letter agencies written all over it. This is not a conspiracy, ladies and gentlemen. This has happened forever. This has happened many times in history, especially in our recent history, like the last 100 years. The Iranian president, dubbed the Butcher of Tehran, is confirmed dead. Now, one of the things that I was wondering is, I wonder how the Iranians are reacting to this. Now, you know, again, this is not fear-mongering. You know there's going to be retaliation. This is it. It's not even about WW3, okay? It's a fact. How do we get this to stop? Protest alone will not do it. We have to call out our leaders. Get them off the pedestal. That's one way. You know, I like Dr. Shiva. He's got great insight on how to do it all. Check him out. But yeah, I saw one of these videos. I was looking at the video of like, it seemed like they were not really upset. So he was confirmed because at first it was like there was a crash, but we don't know if he's killed. Then it came upon. But again, I was looking for free Iranians celebrate the death of the criminal Iranian president. I don't speak their language. Let me know, guys, if you know what he's saying. They're dancing. I mean, okay, this is just one. Is there more? This, by the way, I love their music. Hold on, because I just refreshed the page. Oh, here we go. This is the one I saw earlier. Very happy Iranians in London following the confirmed death. I mean, oh my God. While you're celebrating, enjoy it while you can, ladies and gentlemen, because you're not going to be celebrating very soon. Okay? So, hope you like that. And here is the clip from Forbes earlier today of the ICC seeking arrest warrants for Netanyahu and Hamas leader. Did you see that today?
There must have been a huge amount of pressure on you from all sides to do and not to do.
Well, this court, Christian, is a child of Nuremberg. It was built because of the awful pictures that haunt us today of the Shoah and the gas chambers and then the Balkans, and the list goes on. And we have to look at the evidence. And the way I very simply try to do things is look at the evidence, look at the conduct, look at the victims, and airbrush out the nationality. And if a crime's been committed, we should move forward. Nobody is above the law. No people by dint of
By the way,
birth,
this to
passport,
me is
religion.
very important news. Of the day, honestly, this is very important news because it's not just the news. Listen very closely to what he is saying.
The nationality or the color of their skin.
Hold on, let me rewind a little bit.
And if a crime's been committed, we should move forward. Nobody is above the law. No.
There you go. Nobody's
people
above the law.
by dint of birth or passport, religion, nationality, or the
That's
color
right.
of their
Religion,
skin
nationality. There
have
you
a
go.
Get out of jail free card. Have
That's
a
right.
free pass to say, well, the law doesn't apply to us.
We're here at the ICC. You are today announcing that you are applying for arrest warrants for top military and political leadership in the Israel-Gaza war since the October 7th events. First and foremost, explain to me exactly what you're asking for and who you are charging.
Today, Christian, we've applied for warrants to the pretrial chamber of the International Criminal Court in relation to 3 individuals that are Hamas members. Sinwar, who's in charge on the ground.
That's Yahya Sinwar.
Absolutely. Dave, who's in charge of the Al-Qasim Brigade, and Hania, who's one of their political bureau based in Doha.
What are the charges?
The charges are extermination, murder, taking of hostages, rape and sexual assault in detention. So these are the key crimes that are alleged to have been committed by these 3 individuals. The world was shocked on the 7th of October when people were ripped from their bedrooms, from their homes, from the different kibbutzim in Israel. And people have suffered enormously. And we have a variety of evidence to support the applications that we've submitted to the judges.
You have also issued warrants against the top political and military leadership of the government of the State of Israel.
We've applied for warrants. Of course, the judges must determine whether or not to issue them, but we've applied today, we'll apply for warrants for Prime Minister Netanyahu and also Minister of Defense Gallant for crimes of causing extermination, causing starvation as a method of war, including the denial of humanitarian relief supplies, deliberately targeting civilians in conflict.
I didn't watch it this far, so I don't know what else they're going to say, but Think that's it. Now, guess what? One more thing before I start my live reaction. Just a little more positivity. I think this is another positive post that I just found. Check this out. Major anti-government protest happening right now in Israel. So whether you're pro-Palestine or pro-Israel, do you see what I'm saying? If you're pro-Israel, then protest being anti-government. Like, see, we're all in the same boat here. The people do not represent the government. Although the government and the media continuously tries to prove that point. It's not true. I can't understand if they're speaking English or Hebrew. Let me know, guys. So I have to, dive deeper in this, but I don't know for certain if this is, I like Luke. I follow him. I like him. But matter of fact, I've even asked him recently to join me or to have me on his show. He's talking about going to follow the Bilderberg, I think, 2024. It's going to be in Madrid, Spain. I'm like, you should have me. But anyway, so I haven't verified if that's real footage from actual Israel. You guys let me know. So, but it looks positive because you know what? Sometimes shit has to hit the fan before the love comes through. Before people are like, okay, I can't take it anymore. I'm going to have to do something. Not just talk or protest. I mean, like I said, protest is not a bad thing. Peaceful protesting. But no, we got to do more. And like I said, we have so much power that talking about it is not my point here. I'm not doing this live stream. Let's talk about it. I'm doing this live stream because it's like, whenever I do a live stream, we need the conversation to keep going as far as you're not alone in feeling that you care. But talking alone isn't enough. We have to unite. Keep on with me, ladies and gentlemen. Much love. Welcome to Melissa Crocker. Sorry. You're not dyslexic. I know, can't get tired of saying that because for people that are new or they forget. So guess what's going to happen now? Olga's got to take a quick break. So I'm going to be right back, and I'm going to come back, and I'm going to jump right in to the Tom MacDonald, The Machine, live reaction, and Lovebites Miyako from Lovebites, Eagle Fly Free piano cover. I'm doing a back-to-back, baby, because it's a special Monday. Why not? I was able to. I had some cancellation. I was like, I said it on Friday, on my live stream Friday, remember? I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm going to do, if I can, I'm going to do a marathon. I'm going to bang them all out in one day. How about that? Why not? So, don't go anywhere. Stay right here. Give me a few minutes. I'm going to be right back. And that's going to get the party started. I'm excited. I can't wait. Share this. And, All right. I'm not trying to make you guys wait. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. I keep changing my mind. I'm like, how do I end this? Not end. No, we're not ending. I'm going to be right back to do live reaction. Tom MacDonald, The Machine, Lovebites. Don't go anywhere. And if you do, come right back. No more than 5 minutes. Tops. Okay? I love you. I can't wait till we do this. Without you, I can't do the live reaction. You're part of it. Okay. Bye. For now, for minutes. See what I'm saying? I just want to make sure you know I'm coming right back. Welcome back. Welcome back, everyone. I'm back. I'm ready. I'm refreshed. I had to clear up the energy to make sure that I come to you fully, not just live, but I got some breath. I got refreshed. Took care of some business without giving a lot of details. Are you guys ready? I think this is a great way to start a Monday. What do you think? Live reaction, Tom MacDonald, The Machine is first. And wrapping it up with Miyako from Lovebites, Eagle Fly Free piano cover. These are your requests. I take requests from members who also give me a donation, buy me a coffee, because I need the coffee, okay, to show up. All right? I'm a human battery. So I was gonna say one thing or the other, and I'm like, okay, crossing my cables. But yeah, we're made of energy, honey. That's the one thing that's true and real. And not that I need coffee. Like, I don't drink the coffee for the caffeine. I drink it because the aroma, just like smelling the roses. I do that too. I'm one of those people. I walk down the street and I see a rose, I stop. Even if I'm late to go somewhere, I stop and I smell the roses. Okay. So we're not going to be smelling roses right now, but we're going to be doing some listening. I do have to pause for copyright reasons, and because this is not edited, okay? Don't be like, oh, she talks too much. I have to do it, or it gets blocked, etc. Feel free to post your timestamps for those who I would greatly appreciate it. But as soon as I can, I will go in later and put the timestamps for the live reaction. So I pause as needed, as inspired, plus with the copyright. You get me. You feel me. Again, I am live on Twitter, Rumble, and right here on the Boob Tube. And I thank you all for being here, for waiting. Much love. Shout out to one of my members that requested that I do the machine. I think I saw her earlier. I'm trying to look you up, girlfriend. I want to see your name and give you a shout out. I think it's Locked and Loaded, or Locked and Load Shari. If I said that right, believe it's you, babe. If I'm wrong, forgive me. But anyway, you guys are my fuel. Here you go. Are you ready? Okay. So let's screen share. Ooh, baby. It's been a hot second. So let's see. Help me with the algorithm, guys. Make sure to tag, hashtag HOG. Let's get all the Tom lovers in the house right now. I don't know if you're on like his Facebook group or whatever. Please share this. Right now would be the right moment. Share this link. Let's get all the Tom lovers, all the HOGs in here right now. Tom, I did tag you in this video. Nova, I tagged you too. I love you, and I really hope you're here. It would be off the hook if I see you in the live chat, to say the least. But even in the replay, let me know that you know. And if I don't like this song, I'm going to say it. If I like it, you're going to hear it. All right. Woo, baby. Okay. Real live raw reaction. Tom MacDonald, The Machine, starting now.
I am not Republican, I am not a liberal. Why the hell can't I just be American without getting political? The system gon' suppress us all, they don't care about the cost. How's this a democracy when we got communists in charge? Cancel culture Nazis, all they're missing is the swastikas. Honestly, this is a psychological holocaust. Pumping propaganda through the screen and straight into your brain. You ain't on a plantation, but you definitely still a slave. Race theory is indoctrinating children. Tell blacks they're disadvantaged, tell whites they got
100%! We're a slave! He's right!
Privilege, what a brilliant way to reinforce division. If whites believe they have it easy, they will never help you fight the system. And now they burning books in untraditional ways. They just traded newspapers for the digital age. Now the facts can be deleted with no physical flames. They just change the information and the truth gets erased.
Boom. Boom. And a lie told many times becomes the truth. Hold on, let me rewind a little bit.
Facts can be deleted with no physical flames. They just change the information and the truth gets erased. They keep screaming to wake up, but they're all woke, not awake. We know the system has failed us and all the media's fake. I swear the government hates us. Having opinions is dangerous. The system built to enslave us only works if we're afraid. I am not Republican. I am not a liberal, progressive and traditional.
I'm with him. You know, if you know me, you know I'm the same. I don't take side. I don't play these games. I'm for the people. Period.
Or hitman hired to kill the individual. Not Republican. I am not a liberal, progressive and traditional. Or hitman hired to kill the individual. They label people red or blue, divide us. They don't ever help. They want you thinking left or right, so you ain't thinking for yourself. Go ahead and vote, cause both the parties are the same side.
Hey, you know I keep saying that. I'm not the only one, I get it, but like, it really has to stop. I know it's like so deeply embedded, but I'll tell you, one thing that I'm getting straight out the gate with this video is I really did have a feeling, I thought, or I assumed, you know what they say, when you assume you make an ass out of you and me. But I literally assumed with the title, The Machine, I thought the beat would be like, you know what I mean? So I'm a little taken back that it's like, whoa, there's a poetic feeling I'm getting from this song. Do you guys feel that? You know what I'm talking about?
2 teams, 1 coach, controlled by the same guys, left wing.
2 teams, 1 coach. See, this is the one reason I love this guy. I mean, Eminem was in a sense, or at his time anyway, a lyrical genius. This guy has got the lyrics and the heart and soul right there. It all matches up.
Right wing, both help the same bird fly, brainwashing everybody at the same time. The internet was once a place that we could get our facts from. Now it's been monopolized. It's Google or it's Amazon. Who fact checking the fact checkers? I can answer that one. The people who control.
Who's checking the fact checkers?
The narratives through the platform. Who fact checking the fact checkers? I can answer that one. The people who control the narratives through the platforms. Let me break this down for you, simple as I can, Kate. They use social conditioning to put you in the rat race. It doesn't matter if you're first or third or if you're last place. You're still a rat, and they're the cats who kill you so you can't escape. They
I know
keep screaming to wake up, but they're all woke, not awake. We know.
Sorry, because I got chills. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. I got chills and I got all verklempt. I messed that whole thing up. Oh, and it was like the buildup was just perfect before he even got to that. Okay. I had to rewind. I'm sorry.
Cats who kill you so you can't escape. They keep screaming to wake up, but they're all woke, not awake. We know the system has failed us and all the media's fake. I swear the government hates us. Having opinions is dangerous. The system built to enslave us only works if we're afraid. I am not Republican, I am not a liberal. I am just a man who knows they're scared of a nation that's thinking critical. They kill us or they lock us up for nothing like we're criminals. Divide us cause they know that unified we are invincible. Questioning the government's agenda is controversial, but promoting guns and liquor in our music is commercial.
Wow, I think he's gotten more. This was deep for him, in my opinion. I don't think he's trying to just say some lyrics and some points and some facts. I think this was deeper for Tom. To the fact that, I don't know about you guys, but I felt that this whole being on the porch, it felt to me like I was sitting right next to him, like I'm in a rocking chair and we're having this conversation. I really like this setup. Man, it's hard to keep doing the same thing and have different backdrops and settings to make these videos, Nova. If anybody knows, how much say did Tom have in this setup of this video? Or was it all Nova? Like he did the song, did the lyrics, and Nova does like, I want to know. I know they're like 2 and 1. I get it. But okay, let me push. Oh, push and play.
Kill us or they lock us up for nothing like we're criminals. Divide us cause they know that unified we are invincible. Questioning the government's agenda is controversial, but promoting guns and liquor in our music is commercial. They're confusing us with pronouns they made up to make us triggered. You can call me what you want, but just don't call me late for dinner. School teaches you to learn and never teaches you to think. So you absorb misinformation, then you practice what they preach. You ain't free, can't you see that's how they want you to act? That's called conforming to the norm, you don't need freedom for that. I'm not Republican or liberal.
Ooh. It's called conforming to the norm. You don't need freedom for that.
Or left wing or right leaning. I took the red pills because that's who's fighting for my freedoms. And you don't need to choose to be accepted. They both fake teams. Evil runs the world now like hell.
How perfect was this song today? For this reaction today? How many times did I talk about freedom? I mean, all the time, but today specifically. I had no idea what the song was about. At all. That's right, Tom. That's right, Tom. Rewind a little bit.
For my freedoms, and you don't need to choose to be accepted. They both fake teams. Evil runs the world now like hell ain't got no vacancy. They keep screaming to wake up, but they're all woke, not awake. We know the system has failed us and
They are woke and not awake. Yes, let's say it louder.
The media's fake. I swear the government hates us. Having opinions is
They do hate us. Yes. You got it, baby. You got it.
Trust the system built to enslave us. Only works if we're afraid.
But wait, did he just say
Us only works if we're afraid.
Did he just say we're too either frail or afraid? I know. Sometimes when I watch this again, then I pick up other stuff. Hello, live reaction. Nova in the house. Well done. I'm sorry. Another great song. But this to me is make it like when I hear this, when I listen to this again, which I'm going to today, right after this live stream, I know I'm gonna be like in a zone. That's what this music and this song, that's where it's taking me. Did it happen for you too? Let me know. All right. Well, bravo in the sense that, wow, I did not expect this. How many views does this get? Oh, I can't believe it's already been 2 months since he released this. Oh my God, time flies. He only got 4 million views. What's up, people? Was it too, let me smash that like button while we're here. Was that too much for people? What was going on here? Because he's pretty good about promoting his stuff, right? What you guys think? Tom lovers, non-Tom lovers? Kind of sad, right? That there's some kind of sadness in this. Hey, growing pains, the truth isn't always fun. But I think it was beautiful. If I was going to say one word, I thought it was beautiful. Okay. Moving on to the next. Since we're on a marathon, let me screen share. Well, let me see also what you guys have to say about that video. Let me know if you have already seen that video and what your thoughts were. This is my favorite. Okay. This is my favorite of all his political songs. It speaks to me big time. Yes. It's funny, like you don't need all the, the rockets and the music, and it was just like, aye, Captain. Great, you can make it. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Keep your comments coming. You know it. You know your comments are my fuel. Keep them coming. I do read them, and I will respond. Okay. All right. So who's ready? Because another member who's got me some coffees as well. Here's your Miyako request. Here's to you. Let's see. Because remember when I did the first reaction to this? I think I've only done one reaction so far from Lovebites. I was surprised. I had no idea who it was, what it was about. And a lot of people were like, you should do your research. Honey, the point is, everybody else is doing that. On the Olga S Pérez show, when I do a music video reaction, it's supposed to be like blind, like a blind date, okay? That's the beauty. You don't like the style? There's others out there for you. But I don't know who would not want a real, live, raw reaction. So here we go. Real, live, raw reaction. Miyako from Lovebites, Eagle, Fly Free. Halloween piano cover. This is the official video. Starting now. By the way, again, like I said, I interrupt as needed and for copyright reasons as well. Number one, I always take preference and love, like deeply appreciate people that play instruments and the piano. I'm big into classical music. And of course, all the classics like the Mozart, Bach, Beethoven, but I'm loving this. Wow, what a different energy. I really think it's essential for our livelihood to listen to live music, orchestras. Okay, let me stop. But I'm just worried about the copyright. Ah! Isn't that beautiful? Is it not beautiful? I'm getting Didn't I just mention Beethoven? I'm getting Beethoven feels already here. What's up? Okay, I'm gonna rewind. Beautiful, beautiful. I didn't have to, so I didn't have to interrupt or pause because I was flying with this. I'm like flying with this, but for copyright. I think it was also very beautiful cinematography in her outfit with the light coming through. I like that they're focusing on her hands. I mean, watching this is an entire experience. It's not just listening to it. I appreciate it. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Well done, girl. Well done. That was beautiful. I'm impressed, girl. I didn't know. I don't know much about them. I only did one live reaction from Lovebites, and wow, wow, wow. It's great to see artists and musician having so many levels to their talent, to say the least. But I think the most important is, did you enjoy it? Did it give you some feels? I definitely enjoyed it, and I appreciate it. A lot, actually. Huh. This will be another one that I'm going to actually replay with my headset on. Or maybe not. Maybe during when, like, the next time I clean the house or something, I'm going to play this blaring on the speakers in every corner of my place. I know it's going to hit me differently when I have like speakers, like, because you know, when you listen into music, it's not just like if you like the tune of it, but like the vibration coming out of the speakers. Ah, it's different than just in your ears. You get what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Hey, Pure Blood, great to see you. How you doing from beautiful Arizona? That's right. Great to see you. I missed you too. How you doing? All right, guys. Well, it's a wrap for today. Stay tuned. I will definitely be around this week. And like I said, feel free to add on the comments below the my chair sliding to add the reaction time. But as soon as I can, I'll come back up and come back in and post a live reaction for everyone that's interested in all the topics we covered today and the 2 live reactions. Stay tuned. I'm not sure. I have to look at my schedule when I can be back today, but I do plan on doing another live. I don't know when, but there's going to be another live this week. Stay tuned. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Much love. Many blessings. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Join me on Locals. I'm always showing up over there. Bye for now.